Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. You got to nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. You got to nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. You got to nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. You got to nip it in the bud. Nip it. Nip it.
All right, everybody, welcome to the program tonight. We're going to have a great time up in here. It is Friday fun night. We are broadcasting live as normal every Tuesday and Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 8:35 now. March the 19th, 2021. We're going to have a great time tonight. I've got a lot of good stuff ready for you. I got a special guest that's going to be coming up in here in just a little while. Prior to all of that, we've got lots of different things we're going to do. So I'm going to have to keep the pace cooking. I've got some great news. I've got a question of the night. I've got something to make you smile. I've got something to make you think. We are ready to roll. Everybody is piling up in here. Thank you for being in YouTube. Julia Augustine finally found her way to YouTube. God bless you, Julia Augustine. All you others that are checking in on Facebook, on the Bethel Life page, you're also checking in on the coffee shop. I see plenty of you there. God bless you all. Steve Tyson, first man in here tonight. God bless you. The Loziers in the house tonight. In fact, Loziers, hang around. I got something for you. Jennifer Grover, Janet Smith, Rita Berryman, Donna Jean, Karen Odell, Oklahoma, Ann Hockett, Leanne Brazel, Julia Augustine, Pittsburgh, Greensburg, Robin Branch, Pastor Kathy C., Lisa Gunner, the crew checking in from Central Virginia, Pam Bowman, North Carolina, she actually lives there, Clint Hackett saying, hey, bub, what's up? Cuz we're ready to rock and roll tonight. Janet Smith, super duper haircut. I'm glad somebody noticed the haircut. Bill and Rita Terry, Charlene Hayes. Everybody's saying my haircut. Yes, I got a haircut. Pastor David Latshaw, I see you up in the house. God bless you. We are ready to rock and roll, and there's so much to do tonight. William Winneberger, I see you here. Candy Tar, Rick Berry, Haligas, Jerry Morris, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ted Link, Rhonda Hodge, Ray Fell. I see all of you jumping up in here. Hey, welcome. We're going to have a great time. We are loaded up in here. Jeff Elder. What's up, Jethro? Matthew Firth, God bless you. Larry Gorley, welcome to the program. We're going to cook it tonight. I've got a background of the night I want you to look at. Everybody look at this background of the night. I expect nobody to get the answer. Well, not nobody. The background of the night tonight is the hometown, I think. I think it's the hometown of my guest tonight. So, of course, this is in America. Looks like a state flag under the American flag. That is your hints. John and Lynn Fireball checking in from Richmond, Virginia. God bless you guys. We are ready to cook it. So that's the deal right there, folks. That is the hometown courthouse. I think it's his hometown. His. We have a male guest. See if you guys can throw a guess in there. God bless you, Bill and Kathy Jones. Matthew Firth, can you pray for my buddy? He's back at UVA, dehydration, very sick again. Yes, sir. We will add him to our prayer list here at our home church, Bethel Life. My friend, everybody, always feel free to drop your prayer request into the chat. So, I don't expect anybody to get this. Rosemary Lozier. Oh, God, help me, Jesus. Texas is right. Can we get it closer? Can we get it closer? Looking for the town. While we're thinking about that, also in the chat tonight, because it is Friday fun night, just anytime during the program, throw in the chat your favorite vegetable. When we get to the end of the program, I've got my guest in here. We will both tell you our favorite vegetables. So, hey, you know what time it is. Here we go. It is time for the boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to witness is not only exciting and educational, but sometimes a bit risky as well. Do not try this at home. It's time for the beverage of the night.
Folks, it is time for the beverage of the night. We've got a guest of San Antonio. We got a guest of Dallas. You guys are in the right state. And I've already seen Julia Augustine coming in telling us that her favorite vegetable is kale. Kinfolk, Buddy Hackett, mother friend David Knight not doing well. We got you covered, Matthew. We've got you covered. Yes, broccoli, Lynn Fireball. Wow. Hey, broccoli's not that bad. Our beverage of the night tonight is coming in from Bruce and Rosemary Lozier. It has been delivered and it's ready to go. I'm excited. Potato, Rita Berryman. Kale is mine also, Pam Bowman. This is, I can't even pronounce it, Sprecher Fire Brewed Puma Cola. Folks, this is the Puma Cola. Looks German to me. Austin, Texas Courthouse. That would be wrong. Lima Beans, Janet Smith. Sprecher, El Paso. Nope. Puma Cola Craft Soda. Here we go. Popping the top. Frankie Jones, welcome to the program. I have no idea what this is. Thank you, Loziers. I don't even know what flavor it is. I don't know where it comes from, but it's no caffeine, gluten-free. But it tastes fantastic. Thank you very much. Wherever you got this, if you guys see Sprecher Puma Cola, I highly recommend it. That stuff is fantastic. All right, I'm going to keep it cooking tonight, folks, because we've got to have time for our guest, Butter Beans, Matthew Firth. Here we go. We got a lot to look at tonight. All right, my friends, it's time to look at some news tonight. Sorry, I forgot to mute my mic there, so the beverage of the night has a little bit of a kick. Yay, Fresh Grounds, sir. Okay, these are available at Fresh Grounds, local coffee shop, downtown Greenville, Pennsylvania. Larry Gorley coming in with sweet potato, butter beans from, Jennifer Grover, broccoli. Wow, we've got it spread out here pretty good. All right, folks, let's get to it. We've got some stuff to look at tonight that we're keeping our eyes on. One of the things I'm concerned about watching our country unfold here in 2021, of course, 2020 was a crazy year, but one of the things I'm concerned about, especially having traveled so much in my life, I am concerned about our country's foreign policy. And there are some things that are troubling to me just watching from someone who's traveled in lots of countries, dealt with many cultures. Let me just be honest with you. The best way to interact with cultures is to be friendly. I think it's a biblical principle that if you want to have friends, you have to show yourself friendly. That doesn't mean you don't have to be strong, know how to negotiate, have your boundaries, no problem there. But we have to be friendly. United States and China were having their first round of talks, and it was happening in Alaska. And basically a brawl almost broke out from both sides. And everything I'm reading from multiple sources was that China cleaned our clock in the talks. They just presented better. Their points were better. Our team wasn't prepared to deal with the way the Chinese were negotiating with us in Alaska. I'm hoping that our foreign policy will improve, but I'm not really sure of it. This came out as well. Erdogan, who is the president of Turkey, it's a Muslim nation, slammed President Joe Biden, this is out of Al Jazeera, over killer Putin comment. And it is a fact, it is the truth, that President Biden referred to President Putin as a killer. Now, whether it's true or not, whether he used to be in the KGB, which he was, etc., that's not how presidents operate. Now, Kim Jong-un in North Korea, he's bonkers. He needs Jesus and deliverance. But I'm talking world level, top level, first world nations, United States, Russia. Turkey's a first world nation. We deal professionally, honorably. And I'm concerned that our foreign policy is going to struggle over the next few years, and that is potentially a problem. We already know that Turkey and Russia are in very good relations, and they have agreements. And now we have the president of Turkey standing up for the president of Russia, the leader of Russia, which is Vladimir Putin. But folks, when you deal with foreign nations, and I know President Biden has been in politics for 47 years. Whatever, dude. God bless you. You still have to know how to deal with cultures. Because President Putin came back and says, listen, it takes one to know one, Mr. Biden, and you need to talk to me professionally as a head of state. Not like just some senator that would just spit out words. You are now the president. So I'm going to offer you something. It was amazing. Putin said, hey, let's have a phone call and talk about it. In fact, let's do the phone call on the television, right in front of the whole world to see. Let's have an open conversation so we can clear the air so Russia and America can be good friends going forward. Folks, I'm going to tell you something right now. President Biden, God bless you. You need Jesus, as everyone does, and America needs Jesus, as everyone and every nation does. Sir, you don't want to get on a call with President Putin, or you better get some good training because that's a whole different level. So may the Lord lead us in our foreign relations here over the next few years. Ted Moore's very aerodynamic haircut there, PG. Quite the trendsetter. Thank you for that. I see some more peas. Donna Jean, all of them. She loves veggies. I was talking to you the last couple of days about Tanzania and how that it seems Tanzania was covering up their issues with the coronavirus. Their president, John Magufuli, was the #1 opponent to the global pandemic. He thought it was a joke. He is the president in Africa that said he had discovered a cure for COVID, and it was some fruit off the island of Zanzibar. Eat the fruit, you'll never get the coronavirus. Well, he has now passed away. I was telling you earlier on Tuesday that he was in the hospital. He had been in Kenya, and all the news was pointing to him being on a ventilator already. Kenya couldn't provide the care he needed. They shipped him to India. That's all the story, but he has passed away. He was a supporter of the church. So please don't misunderstand me. That man, president of Tanzania, did do a lot to help the church in the nation of Tanzania. Now, that affects us directly because we are very invested not only with people and resources and time and relationships, but every other way that we can imagine. We are really heavily invested in the nation of Tanzania. And John Magufuli, for all of his faults, making the jokes about the coronavirus and eventually succumbing to the coronavirus and passing away at 61 years old, he was good for the church. He was a Christian. He supported the work of God. Now, of course, as in any other nation, what happens? The vice president comes into power. The vice president is a lady, and her name is Samia Suluhu Hassan. This is her right here. Now, I have been researching about her. I actually had a call in today to Tanzania. I spoke just for a moment with my twin brother, Bishop Barings Mlambya, but we were unable to discuss in depth. But there are some things that I can absolutely confirm from the inside there. This is a nice lady. She is soft-spoken. I think it's kind of like, was it John Wayne that said walk softly and carry a big stick? I think this is this lady. But supposedly a good lady. She is a Muslim. She's originally from the island of Zanzibar. She took her oath of office not on the Bible, but on the Quran. The concern is, how is she going to look at the Christian church in Tanzania? We need to keep an eye on this. Of course, it affects us directly. I will be talking to Bishop Barings more to get more details and his opinions. You know, I may even work it out where I could bring him on here as a guest. He'd just have to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, but he can do it. He's the great bishop. He's the king of Zamunda. So we will see. We are believing and praying that this lady will be soft toward the Christian churches that are in Tanzania, but we'll keep talking about that. We've got the winner, folks. We've got the win. Look at here. This is the Throckmorton County, Texas courthouse and jail. Throckmorton, Texas. I believe that's the home of our guest tonight, but I'm not completely sure. I think it is. Folks, right now we are having a terrible time at our border. We're having a brutal time at our southern border. And now it doesn't matter if it's conservative news, middle of the road news, liberal news, very liberal news. Everybody is now concerned about the problems that we are having at our southern border with illegal immigration. Found a nice little video today. I want you to check this out. It gives us an idea. And the reason I want to show it to you is because I have a roving reporter that in a week or so is taking a trip right to the border of Texas where there is a serious immigration problem, and we're going to get a first-hand report from the border of Texas our own selves. But for tonight, let's take a look at this.
A group of about 70 asylum-seeking migrants, including adults, teenagers, and small children, this week arrived at the U.S.-Mexico border near Penitas, Texas. U.S. Border Patrol agents lined them up, gave them water bottles and plastic bags for their belongings, took down their information, and readied them for transport to a facility for those who crossed the border illegally. One of them, who said he was 17 and declined to give his name, told Reuters why he made the trip.
We are here searching for the American dream because in our country, the violence is really bad. Thank God we're here at our destination, and we hope God will give us an opportunity here because we've come all this way, suffering. We have been suffering in this journey for a month.
U.S. border agents encountered 100,441 migrants at the border with Mexico in February alone, and the U.S. is on track to see the highest number of illegal border crossers in 20 years. But for many in this group and thousands of others, this is as far as they'll get. The U.S. Secretary for Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, this week told Congress, quote, "The border is secure and the border is not open." Underscoring that stance, border agents staged a drill at the San Isidro crossing this week, deploying riot shields and tear gas. Mayorkas made the policy clear.
We are expelling under the CDC's public health authority in light of the pandemic single individuals who arrive at the border. We are expelling families under that same public health authority.
Families who cross illegally into the U.S. could find themselves quickly expelled. Edna Soto, a mother from Honduras, told Reuters she entered the U.S. only to end up in a migrant center in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico.
At dawn today, we were kicked out and we were forced to board a bus. We were taken to the airport, put on a plane, and sent to El Paso, Texas. And then from El Paso here to the Ciudad Juarez bridge.
But one group of migrants is not being deported.
We are not expelling children who arrive unaccompanied without a parent or legal guardian, and we are caring for their custody and their sheltering.
U.S. government data this week show about 9,200 unaccompanied children in U.S. custody. Most are teenagers, but hundreds are aged 12 or younger. The administration is struggling to house them and has opened several emergency shelters for children in Texas and plans to use the Dallas Convention Center to house up to 3,000 migrant teen boys. Republicans claim Democratic President Joe Biden's policy relaxing rules at the border for children is prompting the surge. In a TV interview this week, Biden dismissed that criticism, saying difficult conditions in Central America were to blame. At the border, a woman who called herself Maribel and said she was 9 months pregnant is loaded into an ambulance to be taken to the hospital. Others board vans to be processed. They don't know what lies ahead.
So, folks, there you have it. That's an update. I actually pulled that out of Reuters, so you typically wouldn't see that on the news sites that you guys, watch at your home during the day or evening. Thought it was very interesting, and I just want to speak to it for one moment. It's brutally difficult. Brutally difficult. I believe in immigration. It's what makes America great. I believe in legal immigration. I believe you go through the process. If you want to come to America and be a part of the great melting pot, you go through the process of applying for a visa or whatever the other possibilities are. Who's calling me? Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. So I believe we have to go through those processes, and that's acceptable. But when you see children, up to 9,000 unaccompanied, 3,000 teenage boys 17 and under going to be in the Dallas Convention Center, hundreds of 12 and unders with nobody with them, you have to understand something. Maybe you've never traveled out of America. Well, let me share with you. A lot of these nations, and it's not just Mexico, but it's all through Latin America and down into South America. Folks, it's brutal conditions for a lot of these families with drug cartels and poverty. So I can understand them. That is why this is such a challenge. So what can we do? Hey, have strong borders. I was a believer and am a believer in a wall and strong borders. I'm also a believer in a good, fair immigration policy. And I'm always a believer in America taking care of children however we can. So may God give us wisdom, and may God guide those that are working in this area. I think that would be a good plan. And if there's anything I can do to help Washington, President Biden, give me a call. Be happy to help you out there. Folks, thinking about a little bit more before we bring in our guest in just a moment, a little bit of coronavirus stuff, because our guest, we're going to be talking about some of our response to coronavirus. This guest is from Throckmorton, Texas, I believe. We'll hear about his vegetable here. Today, the United States CDC backed down their regulations for kids in school. Now, instead of being 6 feet away, they can be 3 feet away. Well, they were 3 feet away already. You can't stop kids from being close to each other. I have a kid in school, and I know the truth. They do their best. But, once again, light at the end of the tunnel. Thankful for that. We are moving in the right direction. With that said, now America seems and is moving in the right direction with coronavirus. But my goodness, folks, Europe is falling apart. I don't understand what's going on. And I'm hoping that this is not a precursor to what our administration may try to do in America in the months to come. That's why we got to stick with the task, get the vaccinations done, and get our nation open. But folks, Germany was open. They're having exponential rises in cases. They're shutting down. France, in Paris, shutting down. Italy, shutting down. The article talks about Poland and Austria. They're all struggling with this. New variants, lack of vaccine, people not obeying the rules as the weather gets better, whatever. The bottom line is these nations are now shutting down as we are opening up. So, you know what? Thank God for what we have. But a lot of that theory out there that this was just a control against America, folks, put it in your head. And we're in the process of opening stuff, opening up some. We're getting in the right direction, and Europe's closing down. So may once again, whether it's at the border or dealing with COVID-19, may God be with us, grant us grace. Now, with that said, John Kerry, sir, with all due respect, John Kerry, what's good for the goose, sir, is good for the gander. He is now in damage control because this is Senator, once a senator, always a senator, John Kerry on an American Airlines flight, sitting in first class, with his mask off, reading his book. He, of course, goes on to defend himself and says, "Oh, no, I just dropped it down for a moment." Looks to me, sir, like your hand is on the page of your book as you are reading and intently focused. Looks like to me you got caught. Sir, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Put your daggone mask on. And let me tell you something about that. I just flew to Mobile, Alabama. And praise God, my perks are still hitting. I'm sitting in first class. And I had my mask on. And I just needed to breathe for a second. All right? And I did this. That's it. That flight attendant jumped on me. "Mr. Terry, it needs to be above your nose, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate you flying with Delta and being with us and sticking with us." Put it above your nose. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. I wish my flight attendant had been on that flight with Mr. John Kerry. But remember, what goes around comes around. Speaking of that, and guest, get ready. I'm getting ready to come for you. What goes around comes around. The next thing I'm going to show you, my dear friends, has nothing to do with me making fun of anybody. It's Friday fun night, but I'm not making fun. I'm here to just pay attention. Remember, what goes around comes around. President Biden fell today, or yesterday, today I think, climbing the steps to the airplane, Air Force One, 3 times. I am not speaking about his age. I'm not speaking about his health. This is on ABC News in a headline. And he's okay. He's not injured. No problem. I'm not even going to show the video. If you want to watch the video, you can Google it. Most likely, you've already seen it. I'm only sharing it because it's in the same principle as Mr. John Kerry not wearing his mask. Mr. Biden, months ago, made this statement. I hope it works. Let me pull this one up here. I've got it right here. I've got to cut to it. Now, I hope this works. Here we go.
Look at how he steps and look how I step. Watch how I run up ramps and he stumbles down ramps, okay?
Once again.
Look at how he steps and look how I step. Watch how I run up ramps and he stumbles down ramps, okay?
Let me just play that one more time for you.
Look at how he steps and look how I step. Watch how I run up ramps and he stumbles down ramps, okay?
Look at how he steps and how I step. How he moves and how I run. How he stumbles down steps and how I run up steps. My friends, what goes around comes around. I'm not making fun of you, sir. God bless you, President Biden. But my goodness, what goes around comes around. He is now dealing with what he dished out. A couple last stories here that we need to pay attention to, and we're getting to our guest tonight. Going to be very cool. We need to pay attention to this right here. A coach who was fired for praying. Listen, loses in court. I want you to know the backstory. This is a coach of a football team. I think it was in the state of Kentucky. And the game is over. And he would take those of his team who wanted to voluntarily walk to the 50-yard line, pray, thanking God for a good game, thanking God for keeping their health, was banned from doing so by the school system. He sued, saying, the game is over. It's a freedom of speech. I'm not making anybody. I can go to the middle of the field and pray, and if athletes want to come pray with me, we're free. It's America. He lost the court case in the 9th District Court. He is now appealing to the Supreme Court. I hope it goes to the Supreme Court and he wins his case, because this right here, my friends, is a big problem. Yes, I did see that, Ted Morris. I am trying to be a very nice, polite, godly, pastoral, Christian guy. The wind blew President Biden over. It was a very strong wind. Very, 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 very strong wind. One more little story here in Kentucky. Kentucky, what is up with y'all? You're in the Bible Belt. Kentucky? School under fire after allowing students to pray at graduation. Student-led, student-initiated, freedom of speech. They have been forbidden from praying at a graduation. May the case go to the Supreme Court. My goodness. God bless Kentucky. God bless that football coach. And God bless these kids wanting to pray at their graduation. Folks, we're going to move now to our guest of the night. But before we do that, how about a smile while I'm getting him prepped and ready to go? Remember, he's from Throckmorton, Texas. We're going to find out what vegetable he likes too. While we're getting everything ready to go, how about a good smile tonight? It is Friday Fun Night.
So kids, stop your whining. Stop your whining. There's just nothing to whine about. You got everything you need. I love my children, but not too long ago, I made them a breakfast. I made them a full balanced breakfast. It was huge. I made everything for them. It took me like an hour and a half, you know. I wanted to surprise them. So I made the breakfast. I put it all on the table. I wake up, kids, come to the breakfast table. I made you breakfast. All right. They sit down. I go into my office. 10 seconds later, I hear this. Ah! And what's wrong?
There's pulp in the orange juice. Pulp, pulp! You got the orange juice with pulp in it! Get it out!
Like you get it out, man. I've seen you eat an orange. That's pretty much full pulp. Is ever pulp in the milk? Then tell me about it. That's not good. That's pretty much cottage cheese. You let Daddy know, and I'll take care of that. Pulp is like kryptonite to my kids, man. When I want to be alone, I just go in my office, I just put pulp on the doorknob. Daddy,
It burns.
Yeah. I took my kids a while back to this theme park called Six Flags. You ever heard of Six Flags? It's a real fun theme park, man. Took them there for a day. I spent $500,000. $500,000 in a day. I'm driving home that night. I heard this in the back seat. Hey, sweetheart, what's wrong? Billy's daddy took them to Disney World. For a week.
And we just got to go to Six Flags.
For a day. We hate you. Sweetheart, look up here at Daddy. Jesus, take the wheel. You ever feel like doing that? I have. Like, we got insurance. Let's see what happens. I don't care anymore. I just don't want to hear that. How ungrateful is that? Disney World. Let's make a new theme park for kids. We'll call it Third World. Send them there for a few weeks. See if they don't come back a little more grateful. You know what I'm talking about? It's the third world after all. It's... Daddy, I want a Happy Meal. He'll be happy to get a meal, son. Daddy, Mickey Mouse. No, that's a giant rat. Get out of here! It's the third... Oh, it's a poison dart. I just got... And I love my kids, but for Christmas, last Christmas, I got my daughter. She's 12, and she's awesome. She's just like a little angel. She's just one. She never talks. She just sings all the time. She dances everywhere. Just dance. Daddy, daddy, I need your help, my daddy. Could you unlock the computer for me, daddy? I'm gonna make a bowl of cereal. So cute. But for Christmas, I got her, I splurged. I got her this iPod Nano. You know, it's like $250. I wanted to, because we all love our kids the same. But we do. We just don't all like them the same. You know what don't you judge me, parents. You know what I'm talking about. Like, I love you. I just don't like that one right now. I don't care if he's 2. So I got her this Nano, I wrap it up, I put it on the tree. I was so excited. She opens it up in the morning. She said, oh, Daddy, Daddy, I'm tired. This is the wrong one. This is not the right one. I told you I need more giga. I hate you. This one only gets 25,000 songs. Like 25,000, there's not 80 good songs ever written, sugar butt.
Oh, guys, there's nothing better than Tim Hawkins. I'm going to tell you right now. Hope you enjoyed that on a little bit of Friday Fun Night. Hey, it's time to bring our guest in tonight. I'm going to roll him in. If you haven't guessed already, well, drum roll, please. Here comes the guest of the evening. You got it, guys. We're bringing in Pastor Kent Bell tonight with me, and we're going to have a good time here for the remainder of the program. Are you in here? Hold on. Let me push another button. Try that now. You in here?
I am here.
There we go. We've got audio. We've got everything rolling. Everybody, it's Pastor Kent joining us tonight. For those of you that are a part of our extended family, of which tonight we have people in here from many, many, many states, whether on Facebook, the coffee shop, or on YouTube. We also base out of our local church here. Pastor Kent Bell's our senior pastor, and he does a phenomenal job. We've had a tough year rolling through 2020, but a phenomenal year at the same time. We've got a couple things we want to discuss. We're going to edit this out later, post it on our Facebook page, our web site, et cetera, for people to review. But we're going to be making some adjustments here at our local church campus. If you are a pastor in other parts of the country and you're in the program tonight, or you attend your church there in your local towns, wherever you may be, this will give you a little insight as to what we've been doing and where we're going forward. So PK, all yours, talking about what's coming up for the church in the next few weeks and months. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pastor Greg. It's great to be on the PG and Barney Show. So you're doing a great job. One of the things that we wanted to share with the congregation and those that are watching is, first of all, thank you so much for your continued love and your prayers and your support for the ministry here at Bethel Life. It has been a challenging year, but as we look back and reflect on all that God is doing, we can certainly see the hand of God upon the last 12 months. Now, as we prepare to move forward, as you know, things, and I've been listening to your program all night, things are softening up just a little bit across the country and around the nation. And even for us here locally, we're seeing some of the restrictions be lifted. I know Governor Wolf has talked about some things that are being changing for us here in the next week or two. And we're also seeing the numbers drop dramatically in positive cases in Mercer County. And with the vaccines and the numbers dropping, we are looking and also consistently evaluating and praying about how we continue to move forward with the church. I can say this, I'm very blessed that along with the staff here, that the church congregation has been consistently growing almost weekly now since we came back on January the 10th. And many of you know we have a campus in Hermitage, so our Saturday night service continues to be a 5 o'clock service. We're here on the Bethel Life campus in Greenville on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock and again at 10:45. 9 o'clock, our service time there has been a mask required service. 10:45 has been mask suggested, recommended, but not required. We've also added back in kids' min at 10:45. But the numbers continue to grow and to change, and we've done we've talked with and had some communication with others that are attending that 9 o'clock service. And so with the numbers shifting, we are actually beginning not this weekend, but Palm Sunday weekend in our Greenville campus, we're going to be lifting a little bit of that restriction for our 9 o'clock service. One of the things that I think it's important to understand is that we still care about the safety of those who are attending the service. We're still cleaning the church regularly, and even between service, we're doing things to mitigate any potential risk at the church. But even in lifting that restriction at 9 o'clock, we are going to still ask and recommend and suggest that masks be worn. But for those who would like to attend 9 o'clock and not wear masks, we're going to give that privilege to you. But having said that, we're also going to ask you to continue to social distance. And then in our sanctuary with the setup, and Pastor Greg, you're fully well aware of this, that we have 4 significant sections in our sanctuary. We are going to designate one section of the church that will still continue to be a restricted area where we're going to ask those that are coming in to wear a mask if they're going to sit in that section. What we're just trying to do is give privilege and opportunity for everyone who would like to come out and worship in person to be able to do that and feel safe in whatever place they're at.
So what's happening is, for example, we have, healthcare workers that are active members in our church and even our leadership where due to their jobs, they still, even being vaccinated when they're in public spaces, have to wear masks and they have to watch themselves. So that 9 a.m. service We'll have that section. And one of the things is that we were talking about is not trying to create division or, well, that's a masker, I'm a non-masker. We have had really none of those issues because we've got a wonderful church body, and we've done our best to lead by example. So even though they're sitting in a section, we're not creating division. We're creating an opportunity to grow and get back to normal.
I think that's a great way to state that. It's not division, yet it still is opportunity for all people who feel like they would like to come out and worship in person. And we're seeing more and more people come back. Our numbers have consistently grown week in and week out. We know that Easter is coming. We weren't able to worship in person last Easter, and we're really wanting to encourage people to come out on Resurrection Sunday weekend, both in Hermitage and here in Greenville. Be with us as we receive communion and as we celebrate the resurrection of Christ. We know that the numbers are typically up that weekend of the year. It's the largest attended service of the year. So we just felt like we needed to also kind of level the playing field because the numbers have grown so significantly at 1045. And I think in doing this, it's going to give opportunity, as you described, Pastor Greg, for those who would really like to come and still social distance, wear a mask, provision for them to do so, but also kind of frees things up a little bit more for us to push a few more people to that 9 o'clock service time and give everybody that same privilege.
So the bottom line is what we're saying is if you have been coming to the 1045 but you really enjoyed in the past the 9 o'clock, but the mask, you wanted to be in that one that was optional. You're now going to have an opportunity to start migrating back to the 9 a.m. service. We have a lot of early birds. So it's good going forward. Now, that's not everything that's coming. We are also looking ahead into May and June, right? What are we projecting? Everything keeps on task with where we're at.
Yeah, if we continue to see the numbers consistently drop or at least stay where they're at or less, and we continue to add in services back to the ministry. As you know, Bethel Life's a family, so we're very social. And we like to interact. One of the things that has taken a hit, of course, in this last year is that whole section where we had the coffee shop, where we have the hospitality bar, where we've had the bookstore. That's been actually off limits. That's been shut down. So our projection right now as we get through the Easter celebration weekend and we lighten up and expand into 9 o'clock and begin to level the playing field, if you will, the worship experience, then our hope is we can begin to systematically add back in other things that have been restricted. So we looked at hopefully by May, the first Sunday in May, we'd like to be back open in our coffee shop and hospitality and in the bookstore. And so we just kind of want to walk this through carefully. We really see, as I think you described it earlier in the programming, Pastor Greg, the light at the end of the tunnel. We just don't want to stumble before we get there. So I think for us, it's important to continue to be smart. The other thing that I would like to mention in regards to particularly the 9 o'clock service and the mask, no mask thing, I just like people to be encouraged to really love people where they're at. And what I mean by that is there are some, as you've described it, either for their own personal health risk, kind of where they're at, or because of their employment, they will be wearing a mask. And the encouragement would be that when you are near them, that you would just respect that a little bit with some social distancing, understanding that there's a reason they're wearing a mask. And I think that the love of Christ calls us to really meet each other where we're at. And so to respect that, and that's why we're going to do what we're doing.
And one of the great things, because we have an extended family now, even though we are excited about the light at the end of the tunnel, getting some 9 o'clock, opening up some, looking ahead to May and June, et cetera, the ministry that has developed over the last 12 months online, with our online family, there are many people in here tonight that are not a part of our, local come on Sunday congregation, but they are a part of our family now, not only throughout the United States, but across the world. If tomorrow If tomorrow all things, whatever that song is. If tomorrow Jesus stepped on the planet and COVID was gone, miracle all over the world, our online ministry is not going anywhere. We are going forward with this and expanding it. Is that right?
Well, just for clarification, if Jesus stepped on the planet, would that be the second coming, or is he just?
No, he'll be in the air then. No.
Oh,
He's
okay.
in the air.
Okay.
If he steps on
clear.
the planet, it would be to blow away COVID.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah.
So to answer your question, just needed clarification. Yeah, our ministry has definitely expanded. And, you know, one of the things that we focused very early on during the COVID mitigation and the stay-at-home order and everything was that, you know, all things work together for good to them who love the Lord. And that's been our ongoing theme for this past year, that God is in this. One of the things that has happened is we've gotten outside the box, if you will, if I could say it that way. And we've understood now that there's various ways by which we can minister to others and minister to the body of Christ. And so it's expanded. We basically have ministry now taking place in 3 different places: Hermitage, Greenville, and of course around the world through this this wonderful platform called social media or the internet. And so we're thankful for that and the opportunity we have to engage. And actually, we want to continue to grow that ministry, because many people are still in restricted areas, places where for one reason or another, they can't come out and worship. And we're grateful for the opportunity we have to connect with them through our website.
Hey, why don't you just throw this out, because we don't have time to do the other thing we're going to do, the devotion. We'll throw that to next week.
Yeah.
But throw out a couple of the things that we're thinking about for maybe June and the fall.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that we've talked about recently is that it was really difficult even back in January, because if you remember the last of December, 1st of January, we actually had to shut back down for 2 weeks, and we were really uncertain where things were going. So forward planning out 6, 8, 12 months was a challenge, to be very honest with you. But as things have begun to lighten up, and, you know, we've just had a wonderful March, not only from the aspect of COVID, but I don't remember a March where we've had so much sunshine. It just made us feel like we're getting there. So we began to look and plan about some extended ministry. And last year, if you remember, at a very difficult time of the year, we wound up going outdoors to the amphitheater in downtown Greenville Riverside Park. We did a night of worship. We would like to do that again. We're looking for that opportunity of expanding, you know, the influence in the community and just being a blessing to the greater Greenville area. Also in the fall, if you'll remember, the return, when we were praying for our nation, we held an event down at the county courthouse in late September. So we're talking again about a potential. Several people have called and asked about that, wanting to know, is there an opportunity for us to hold a prayer event again at the county level? So we're looking at doing something of that nature again in the fall. And of course, our Harvest Festival, we're looking forward to being back here at Greenville with the Harvest Fest in October. There's just multiple things that really are starting to roll out.
Well, it is awesome, and we're excited about it. And we couldn't do anything better tonight than bring PK on here and we discuss it. Now, with that said, we got a couple more minutes that we're going to be online here. It's time to let a little heat roll, okay? We're going to let a little heat roll and have a little bit of fun. For example, the message just popped in. Thank you so much for continuing the online ministry. It has become such a huge part of my life, such a blessing, and that's from Prince George, Virginia. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. If anything, it's going to grow. One of the great things about Bethel Life is we invest into ministry, whether it's across the world, here locally, technology,
This is what we call the deadly game. I'm in it for keeps.
We're in it for keeps. So now, I'm getting a little heat on me right now, folks. Let me tell you why I'm getting heat on me. Because one of the men behind the scenes, Stephen Haywood, who I've had on the program before, is blowing my messaging system up here. We're pretty high tech with what we can do, whether in my home studio or at the church. Actually, it's very high tech. But my behind the scenes producer, technologist, teacher, guide is blowing my phone up right now. Number one, he says, I guess I'm going to be busy come June and October. Yes, you are. We'll be streaming that live. But when I was going to this shot right here, y'all check this one. And you see my little chair right there or my glasses? He was messaging me going, get your chair out of the shot. Get your glasses out of the shot. Folks, I'm having to do all this while I'm multitasking, so it's time for me to put the heat on PK as we close. As you know, I always close each and every show with a scripture. Looking at something. Sometimes we'll spend 10, 15 minutes looking at scripture. Sometimes 3, 4, 5 minutes, but it's always important. We've got two last things we're going to do on Friday, fun night. You are from Throckmorton, right?
I am from Throckmorton.
Yes. Bill Terry guessed that right. Number 2.
I saw that.
What's your favorite vegetable?
It's easy.
Fried okra. I know he's from Throckmorton, and I know he likes fried okra. My favorite vegetable are peas. There you have it. Lesueur peas. Like peas. Now, are you ready for the heat?
Black-eyed.
Are you ready for the heat?
Go ahead.
You have 5 seconds to give our wonderful family here online your favorite Bible verse.
My favorite Bible verse?
Let's go.
Easy. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path.
That's our message for you tonight, guys. We love all of you. We had a great Friday fun night. We'll be back with you Tuesday night, PG and Barney Show. Service number 1, Saturday night, 5 o'clock in our Hermitage campus. Services 2 and 3, 9 a.m. and 10:45. And just as a reminder, this Sunday the 21st, we are still mask required first service. We are rolling the new phase that Pastor Kent described to you out on Palm Sunday, and that will be Sunday after next. May the Lord bless you, keep you. Trust you had a great time. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys. We love you. Good night and goodbye. Can you tell them goodbye?
We'll see you later. Thank you for being with us.
Now let's put a little heat on it. We gone.
Okay, we gone.